No, I was just going to say, just to move on. I mean, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, my background is early years, and until 2 years ago, I've worked nurseries, kind of here, there, and everywhere. We've obviously looked into the school element of things. You're moving into something now called Birdie Basics, and the program is actually for, is it 3 or 4 year olds up to about 6 year olds? Is that right?
So Birdie Basics is a coaching program based in the States. They do look at Birdie Basics. Their program is definitely run for 3 to 6 year olds. But the way that I'm going to look at it from my business model is to try to tap into the 3 to 4 market. So Birdie Basics is a coaching program which is a story themed golf session. So the idea behind it is you're using puppets. So there is a mama bird, and there's a few other birds that you use as a story. So the golf session is very much run through different themes each week. I think the first session is all about safety, and one of the birds has been injured, their wing. So then therefore you're playing activities where you're helping that bird get to the hospital, you're helping that bird recover through medicine. So you're using basically a storyline for the kids to then play golf in some way or form without them even realizing it. So they're like, the golf ball turns into supplies for the hospital, or the ambulance, or I know one of the stories is going to the shop. So they're going to be doing an activity to earn some birdie coins, so therefore then they can buy some fruit from the grocery stores and stuff like that. So I've saw Birdie Basics at the PGA show January 2020, which feels like a lifetime ago because that's the last time I was on a plane. And I met Kate, who's the owner of Birdie Basics. She obviously comes from a very, very sort of strong early years background as well, and she has developed this program which has been quite successful in America, and there's a few internationals that do it as well. And I was going to do this sort of pre-COVID, but then unfortunately COVID hit and it sort of stopped, and now I'm in a stage where I can reintroduce that. It's an exciting time. I've not been able to do my sort of first session as yet, but I'm really going to look at it as an opportunity to tap into the 3 to 4s that just don't have the opportunity yet. Then maybe they're not at school yet. So obviously, again, you're going to be using plastic clubs, going to be using sponge balls. So very much stuff that, I would have done in a school environment, but just using a story themed and a story led golf session. So, I'll have to work on my puppet skills with my mama bird.
I can't see you have any problems.
It'll be from what I've seen on their social media and what I've seen from the coaches doing it, it looks something that I can do. I feel comfortable, sitting in a little circle with some 3 to 4 year olds and pretending to be a puppet and talking a story. So it'll be good. It'll be really exciting to sort of see how it grows. And I am, I suppose, quite fortunate in the area that I am, that I feel like there's going to be some interest. There's definitely some of my current little golfers that come on a weekly basis are not even quite 4 yet anyway. So I know there's definitely a desire for kids to experience different activities. So I just want to sort of throw sort of golf into the mix that, a 3-year-old can do, the swimming, the little kickers, the rugby tots that you see. So why not do, and little golfers, and to be fair, little golfers has always had that sort of perfect name for preschool. It's always been sort of attached to the younger geographic. So why not do some preschool kids? It will probably be organised chaos, which like it is normally.
It will be, of course it will be.
It will be, yeah.
I can't imagine any of your sessions being subdued and quiet, put it that way.
No.
And that's just the trousers.
No, it's going to start off small, so I'm going to keep my numbers down just to make sure that I can sort of get myself into the idea of the sessions and just sort of it's with everything that I've done all through my career. It's just obviously I'll just experience. So I'll have a session. I'll do the session and then I'll think about it afterwards, and some of the sessions would have been great, and then I'll think some of the sessions that are literally like I've lost my mind and it's gone horribly wrong. But that that unfortunately is junior golf in a nutshell. Sometimes
nothing will go to plan. I can assure you of that.
Plan. So yeah, no, it'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm the first sort of golf academy in the country to sort of start to offer this opportunity. I know of one other person that does little ones, so that sort of age group, but doesn't use the sort of Birdie Basic concept. And again, it's just something. It's just going to be a sort of a specialized thing that I will develop and grow hopefully from it. So, but yeah, it's lots of storyboards and stickers and very visual stuff. So there's lots of sort of the tools to help. Yeah, so it'll be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to it come sort of September to get started with it really. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just hasn't been done yet. It's not really on the market as yet. So why not try to see how we go with it really.
I'm really excited about it for you. One, because obviously I've been out of nurseries for 2 years now, and I've seen it all. I have seen it all over the years. And it's great, you know, when you get coaches in, say for, I mean, even baby ballet, that kind of thing, you get these groups in, and you know, you get these 3 and 4 year olds that can cause absolute chaos when they want to, and then they see these coaches, they see these people, and they're like, I'm going to be an angel for you, and I'm going to do everything that you ask me to do. And you know, it's really lovely to watch
that's
them.
what we want. That's what we want. That's what you want.
Yeah. It's so like that. But you know, they engage with these people, they engage with these activities because they're new, because they're different, because it's something that interests them. You know, it's something that, well, actually, yeah, I like how that looks, or I like to try that. And I think it's amazing what you're doing, and I'm a little bit jealous because obviously we're miles away from you for one. Leo's not even 2 yet, but I think he would be. He would absolutely love it. He would love it, and I'd love for something in this area where, you know, he could actually attend little toddler golf sessions or something like that, and there's just nothing available. Yeah, there is the kind of, do I go into that or don't I? And I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. We've got enough going on. But
like if we look at it from our situation, you know, Isaac's been at the Tommy Fleetwood tour today. We've had a fantastic day out. I just love being out on a golf course with him when I'm not playing and just carrying his bags. We've had a great day there. But I think that I've introduced Isaac to golf just before he was 6, and prior to that I had golf clubs, but I didn't really do anything with them unless I was out on the course myself, which was quite rare. Whereas Leo is, you know, he's approaching 21 months now, and he's been brought up with golf balls everywhere, all over the garden, golf clubs with Isaac practicing. He's been putting. Obviously, with everything that we've done with noisy golf as well, and it's almost like he's just seen these things lying around the house, and he's thought, I want to go with that. And he's taken already at such an early age, he's shown such a love and interest of what these peculiar looking objects are. And you can already at this stage see the enjoyment of him when he hits a really good shot, which he does a lot of. So I think that what obviously that's because we're in a golfing family, so to speak, and obviously a golfing business, but we know that there's many not like that. And we know that, you know, the joy that golf's brought, and yet, you know, if parents don't have access to it or don't even play, that there's probably a lot of children out there that might be, more than likely going to be exactly the same as Leo, wondering what these objects are, getting the enjoyment from just swinging something and having fun. And hopefully that gives them a lifetime of continued enjoyment as well as they get introduced to the game. It's
definitely changed. You know, I was from a golfing family, so that, you know, I was a toddler as well. I've got an older half brother that played. My dad played as well, so I was born into golf as such. And I remember, and obviously this is, you know, we're talking sort of 80s, sort of early 90s. You know, I was the only kid in school that played golf. You know, there just wasn't any exposure.
No, 100%. Well, Isaac, you know, I sort of joke with him that he's the best golfer in his school, but I'm pretty sure he's the only. Seriously, and how many kids must be there? I mean, hundreds. But you know, he's you know, he is the only kid that plays, and that's obviously through the fact that I've just introduced him to it. And yet, you know, I'm seeing him develop and just love the game, which is amazing. I just think how many other kids would be doing that, you know, but they're just not given the opportunity. And it sort of links back to, you know, to what we were saying earlier, obviously the Olympics is an isolated case where they've obviously, you know, part of the campaign and the bid is obviously to introduce local communities to, you know, to sports and things like that. But is it the responsibility of schools to understand it better, or is it the responsibility of not necessarily just pros like yourself, but of the many other people in the golf
community,
you know, of people involved in the golf profession who are, you know, to go to schools and proactively seek to grow their, you know, to grow their sort of you know, the juniors that are, you know, essentially the members of tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the other thing which is important is, as much as I'm a PJ golf professional, I don't feel like you don't need to be a golf pro to be able to engage kids in golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it's just, I just think it's just giving those people the understanding of what you're trying to achieve with it, which is just basically expose you. You're not trying to teach them, and if you are trying to teach them, you do it on a very light basis. That, you know, you're just picking out tiny little bits and pieces, you know, hands close together and feet apart, and, you know, show your shoe at the end of the swing, and that's it, which anyone can do. You know, so like I have another coach that works for me who is not professional but has a passion for golf and is really good with kids, and that was my perfect position. That was my perfect assistant, that just someone who could infuse kids to play golf and enjoy it. So I just think there's this bit of a stigma behind that you have to be a professional to teach golf. You know, I think there must be PE teachers up and down the country that are football coaches, netball coaches, badminton coaches, tennis coaches, because they have to do it in their lessons. Well, why don't you just throw golf into the mix as well? You know, it wouldn't take much for an all-round multi-sport person to pick up the ideas behind, you know, some of the ideas behind golf. So, you know, that may be as a, you know, a path going forward, you know, just if we want more people to play. And I do think it's better, you know, obviously, like things like Crazy Golf, which we have a few, especially around here locally. You know, when I have gone to schools and when I have done, say, like birthday parties, and maybe just kids that I've not seen for the first time, you know, and you ask them about golf, a lot more these days have had some sort of golf exposure. Yes, it may be Wii Sports, it may be Tiger Woods PJ Tour, it may be Crazy Golf, but they've had some form of introduction from golf, and then hopefully the real bit of swinging a golf club is sort of the next step. You know, if we can get that into, you know, more schools, just allowing kids just to thrash a ball up a field with a sponge ball and a plastic club, you know, that would just be perfect.
Yeah. And nurseries, I think the younger you start them, the better. And, you know, like you said, going in at the age of 3, then there's going to be children that are attending those nurseries that then are going to be attending your sessions. And I think just growing it from that early age right through, you know, to kind of the sessions that you're doing, and then obviously moving them forward.
And they may get, you know, they may get that sort of exposure at 3 for a couple of sessions, they may stop, but they, you know, because they've had that exposure, they may take it back up when they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years down down the line.
I think that that's the thing, is you don't know what you don't know, but if you're going to give them at least the opportunity, it can go one or two ways. But as we know with golf, you know, it's a very unique sport, and nothing replicates that feeling of when you do hit that shot. And I've seen it with Isaac when he just, you know, 5 and 6 when he just started, and there's no reason why that can't start any younger, and you know, you get that bug sooner rather than later.